Hello everyone. It's going to be Frozen Temple as the first game in this last best of 3 qualifying match. Tomorrow apparently is going to be the last one that is delayed, because Night End I guess had to be somewhere, do something. I don't know. But this is the last one for today. And we're just waiting for Socke to start things up.
Yeah.
I
I have been promoted to the lobby host.
Oh shit.
Oh. Okay. Socke, ready?
Are we missing a couple of casters? I feel like there's more casters in the last qualifying match.
Who's missing from?
Maybe not.
Small.
Everyone who's in the chat is in here. Huh.
Okay, well, you know what? Players told me to go, and it sounds like they would have gone anyway, so like I wasn't even running the game lobby.
Alrighty then. Hope we don't get in trouble. Last best of 3 of today, Socke versus Soul at TVP.
Alright. Looking forward to it.
Score up.
I was also told to make sure someone else wasn't in the game. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. Alright. Bottom right. He is the Teal Protoss. It is Socke.
Alright, and up in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. Give it up for Soul.
He's got
From
some
Team Extremity Supremacy.
Terran esports, because Terran's the best. We nailed it. Just to be clear, it is true esports, I think. It used to be Team Extreme Supremacy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way that things have gone. Yeah. Yeah. Socke, as far as I know, hasn't been on a team for a while.
In Tespa.
But yeah. We saw Socke yesterday, and we're like, oh man, is he been coming back? And I know you brought up his illegal lack, and he has been participating in other tournaments, so it's not like the first tournament he's ever been back in. But he still isn't like the name that we recognized a year ago. Like, oh shit, like, oh, this is decent product. He's in a tournament, great. He's been kind of on, the low side of participation, and I don't know much about his appearances on ladder and how well he's doing there. But it's super cool to see him again. Old name, another Protoss to cheer for. Maybe he'll join the Lima League and let Fear Dragon cast a Protoss every once in a while.
Hey, that would be really nice.
Right? And he did get to the qualifying round here, so he's, back in almost, I think, his old form. But Soul, I do know a little bit about this guy. He was kind of the first up-and-coming foreigner Terran, besides the regular ones, like Euthermal, Marine Lord. Like, those were all already established, I would say. Soul was kind of the guy that was coming up for us, watching him in our tournaments. That recently retired player, who was it? Terran player. He made a post about retiring. Damn. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. Anyways, Soul was kind of replaced with him. I really should remember his name. I think it was a Spanish Terran. Yeah.
As we get more and more tired, we put ourselves into more situations where
we're not helping.
We can't. We're actually just like making ourselves look worse. Because
right.
we're like, oh, I know this. I know this. It can be so impressive and like referencing current events and everything. It's like, oh, never mind. I can't remember.
You know what? He was in Team Season 1, so you talk while I go find it. Botvinnik! It finally just came to me. Thank God. Anyways.
Wait, Botvinnik retired?
Yeah, there was a post, and people were like, who's he? And everyone had to like educate them.
Was this on Reddit?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't see it. Third Command Center comes out really
Botvinnik.
quickly though. For Soul.
It's like a week ago, though. 2 weeks ago. Regardless, yes, third TC, Botvinnik kind of came in, stole Soul's thunder a little bit by having a little bit stronger runs. But Soul's always been there as that, like, okay, this Terran could probably be the next Euthermal Marine Lord something, given a year here. So it's cool to see him in the qualifying match as well. And I feel like they should be evenly matched. The returning, established pro versus the bit of an up-and-comer still in the name of Soul. And this third CC build is quite greedy and really starting things off with a blast, but like, you know, in the opposite way you'd imagine. It's not a proxy Reaper into a 1-base build, but it is something extreme. Extreme greed.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets punished for this, especially with how Protoss players have been playing lately. It does really lend itself to Warp Prism aggression, and guess what's going to be coming out? So Chrono-Boosted Warp Prism, Warp Gate Technologies finishing up, and it seems likely he's going to just go for the Stalker Warp Prism aggression, which definitely is a bit of the lighter pressure you can go for, unless you can do some really nice elevatoring up into the main base or something, which seems like it could be the case. This could actually work out quite well for him, considering there's no siege tanks going to be on the way. There's not even that many Marines out.
I would say Frozen Temple is pretty popular for this maneuver too, so Sol should anticipate this. But you're absolutely right, like he is not in the best position to defend against it, and this is something that I think Socke should totally try, and if not win the game, do something like snipe stim, or kill a bunch of SCVs.
Oh.
He's really playing quite greedy, there's not even a bunker here, and his blink control, or his Warp Prism control rather, to make the blink happen, could be what wins him the game? And SCVs are already being pulled. That is definitely necessary for Sol here.
And you can pick up some of these Stalkers already whenever they get low on health if they take too many hits from these Marines. This is being really, really effective so far. And yeah, you can continue to warp in. And honestly, again, like you already mentioned this before, sniping off Stim going into the main base could be really effective. He's seen everything that's there in the main base, so he should know that this was a fast 3 CC opening.
Now the bunker's done. There's that little bit of blink I was talking with the Warp Prism. So if the bunker wasn't done, I think he might have already won, to be honest. Like, the Adept Warp-ins would have been quite good, but he has to shoot down the bunker. It's still not going down. Starts targeting the SCVs now, so 11 have gone down. But, I mean, SCV damage would have to be in the likes of 30 plus to really make this worth it, because Sol does have a third CC, and Socke is still on 2 bases. This is awkward.
Yeah, this does become pretty difficult, and this is where I guess going into the main base could still make it work, but there is a bunker up there now. Sol's already prepared for that.
Yeah. This was seriously scary, but Sol responded as well as he could by pulling the SCVs immediately and building a bunker as immediately as possible as well. But there is a little bit of harassment. Unfortunately, goes over missile turret for way too long and loses quite a bit of health on that War Prism.
That keeps it alive. It can still regain some of the shields, maybe be a bit useful. Stalkers do have to retreat on out, and it looks like a majority of them do end up going down. But, you know, I would say that he's actually done enough damage to equalize the third CC. Just because you have to remember, it's not just about how many workers he killed. Sol ended up losing a substantial amount of mining time. He's only mining off of, I guess, one SCV in each one of the gas guys in his main base. Finally taking his 4th gas geyser right now. There's a lot of things that are behind for Sol.
That might be true, but I think 3CC, and he's not, okay, he's gonna lift it, that's why. I think 3CC combined with upgraded army bio, by upgrades I mean stim and combat shields, should give him a lot of pushing power, but he's missing medevacs. That's the worst thing right now in my mind. His priority on his minerals and gas has been going into just bio and more production instead of more medevacs. I think with medevacs, he's pushing right now. He's trying to scare Socke a little bit. He's actually out on the map. But now Socke has no worry about that and can get blink in +1 and his 3rd base saturated.
Yeah, but honestly, even if there were medevacs out right now, I don't actually think the army of Sol could have contended with Socke's army. With all these immortals, you got the sentries in there to force field. Even if the medevacs end up picking up some of the units or picking up some of those siege tanks, I think Socke actually has more than enough to defend, especially with Photon Overcharge combined in.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But at least he'd be pressuring. He'd be doing something.
That's true.
He'd be dropping.
Yeah.
But it really is just, you know, this extreme defensive mode from Sol was fine because he went for a 3CC, but then he took damage. And Socke's kind of equalized and now is just using this passiveness to his benefits by getting a very good-looking army. And I think Sol, I liked it initially. I don't like it now. He needs medevacs. He needs, like, a drop somewhere. And Socke, like, he's actually looking to push into this. He had an observer over the army to see exactly what it looks like. Likes what he sees.
Dark Shrine also on the way. Sort of interesting. He did keep that War Prism alive, and it's sitting up on the top side, ready to drop some units into the main base. This could be effective. There's already a missile turret down inside the main base, so warping in a DT over there is not going to be super effective. Warping a DT to the natural is not going to be super effective, but a couple of adepts shading on in could be one way to get some damage done.
Probably should have canceled the third base, but he got a huge warp into the main, so the SCVs have to be pulled, but not very far, unfortunately. Medevac dropped to the main to try and save it's kind of clever, but does leave the fronts now entirely bare. The tanks can only do so much without protection.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
There's no high ground. Okay, there is high ground vision from the observer, yes.
That was close, though, yeah.
Didn't have the observer, he would have taken a lot of shots, but nice force fields keeping out the army. That was really, really well done.
It was, yeah. Soul still has a gigantic army that you need a couple of adepts to buffer for, and Socke has to be careful. There's the adept warp-ins. The warp prism could even go back into the main base. The Ghost Academy being so early is really odd. Again, that goes back to what Soul really wanted to be a very greedy build. He does EMP the sentries only after the force fields went down, and the adepts, which help, but he's running out of medevac juice. So his Marauders are now getting hit by that last Immortal, starting to go down very quickly.
That Siege Tank, though, on the high ground, dealing out a lot of damage. If he had been able to kill off the third command center or something, I think he would have been able to end the game, but he still does a substantial amount of damage, still doing more damage with the War Prism in the main base, killing off more of these SCVs. By the time the Bioforce gets over there, these adepts should be able to shade away, but they're not. They're trying to go for the medevac pickup. Oh, there's like only Marauders in this army right now. There's barely any Marines.
Yeah, only a couple of Ghosts. I gotta say, for Soul's build, the Blink Stalker attack I thought was very good. That was just before he had a lot of production. That was, just before we really could feel comfortable defending. But when you get to the third base on Frozen Temple, which is a pretty easy 3-base map, DT to getting more damage done, I really am surprised that Socke was able to push and pull Soul apart so much. And that's, I think, was really going to win him the game. It's not like, a move to win quite yet for Socke, but it is this really super nice momentum.
These DTs are doing an absurd amount of damage. Not just the DT at the third, even the DT in the main base, softening up the army, keeping it there. Finally, DT at third expansion gets taken out, but that was
killed. 57-0.
Oh.
Soul has done nothing in this game except try and defend, and he hasn't defended super well, to be honest. He's got one last hope.
More than half the workers that Soul has made this entire game.
This is his last hope, is a really good push, but upgrades are even. Socke has an okay army. He is banking quite a bit, which has been a mistake here. Adept comes back in, no mining on third base. This is it, and can he make it work?
Well, he's doing a decent amount of damage over here, but the Platoon overcharges are pretty gosh darn strong, and additional warp-ins should be able to clean this up, and this was the all-in from Soul. This was the last remaining hope, and I don't think it was enough.
It was not. That's game. He should be tapping out, really. There you go, he realizes no economy. Ooh, Socke.
Socke takes a pretty cool game number 1 after some effective harassment.
Very effective. Far longer than I think really Soul should have allowed.
Yeah. Also, big shout out, thank you to Love SC for the 25-month resub. If that's the love that I think it is, then much love to you, man.
I do believe it is.
Words.
Yeah, words are hard right now. Both of us.
Yeah, right?
Oh, but it's close to being over. This is the last qualifying match for today, and then we'll see if tomorrow is meant to be cast or if it'll just update the results. Who knows? But the next map is Frost. And I really want to drive home that I liked Soul's idea of a third CC. You can take a little bit of damage and still be okay. You can be defensive and still be okay. But his defense was not perfect as it should be. He lost way too much for only having to defend 3 bases.
Yeah.
That was...
looks like we're taking a 2-minute break, by the way.
Unideal. Yeah. Socke asked for it, so... I guess it's been long enough. We'll fit in an ad break here, too. You guys aren't missing anything. Just downtime between 2 crazy people. Hello! We are into game number 2. In the bottom right, he is up 1. It is the TL Protoss, Socke.
And his opponent, spawning up at the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Terran player. It's Soul.
Probably lost a bit of his soul that last game after being harassed with so many adepts. I'd
Ew.
say I would be a little sad because sometimes adept harassment is just like, we son of a like, that wordsman should have died and the adepts should bullshit shitting in. But I'm gonna be really harsh on Soul for the build that he did, for the amount of defense he should have had, for the ease of defense. Because Frozen's not the easiest three bases in the world. I suppose it's no Dusk Towers. It is still pretty close to it. He got tugged along every which way. So if he did like the same exact thing on Frost, with the third bases being even farther away, I think he'd just die.
Yeah,
I hope he doesn't.
I mean, the Adepts did a lot of damage, but honestly, I've got to say, like, he was trying to go for the big army engagement to kind of equalize and just snowball. But the Force Shields really just bought a lot of time. Like, I totally agree. There are some things that I think Soul could have done better with the defense, but I really do feel like Socke deserves some credit on that and just really executing it a lot better than I think many Protoss players would have in that situation.
That is certainly a good point. And by push and pull, I don't mean just with the Adepts. The fact that his main army was always there to catch Soul when he put too many units back to defend against the Adepts was honestly the keyest part, I think. Because he does not only kill SCVs with Adepts, he also killed chunks of army at a time and forced stims, you know, the entire army at a time, which led to an eventual win for his army. Because we've certainly seen enough Protosses only kill SCVs and then die to the main engagement. That happens way too often.
Well, it looks like this game he's not going to be going for a crazy fast 3cc build. He is going up to the factory. And I imagine is going to be getting up a pretty quick starport as well, as there it is. But Widowmine is coming out, so it seems like it's most likely going to be a pretty quick Widowmine drop. Socke did go for the Robo fairly early on. No surprise there, but I guess there's always a small chance. It's not very likely, but always a small chance that the Protoss player will try and do something super cheeky, skip a observer, get out a warp prism, and just go across the map without detection.
Thanks to Extreme Purple for the 2-month resub.
Ooh, Twitch Turbo user and setting purple using the purple Twitch icon. It is living up to the name.
What a baller. Well, Soul finally gets a scout in his opponent, just by... he could have figured out where he was anyways, but bothered sending the SCV there too. Socke knows where his opponent is, but does not know the build. Widowmine drop is a decent guess, and as long as he's playing, as you said, like not cheeky and not, you know, super weird, he should have good enough defenses, although he is missing a pylon and a natural right now.
That's going to be a little bit annoying, but I'll also note he is going for a fairly quick robotics bay off of just one gateway. Has 2 more gateways on the way as well, but this definitely is a pretty quick robotics bay. So with the observer out, he should be able to deal with this even without the Photon overcharge. It's just that he is going to be relying on taking out the Marines with just a Stalker and a or a Stalker and Adept.
Oh, the probes are they pull. Should probably send one back just in case. Oh, that one almost reached. That would have been such bullshit, but it almost did it. But you're right, he doesn't have a lot of units to deal with the units besides the Widowmine, and it's now past the pylon, so no Photon overcharge help here. Game's are about to finish up. Oh,
that's the problem. Losing that. Well, he's gonna have Disruptor out pretty soon, so he can deal with the Widowmines. Ironically, he'll probably end up killing his own assimilator if he does so, but well, Soul's looking to kill his own assimilator first, so.
Is he gonna run in? The Adept's gonna die. The Stalker's gonna die.
Oh.
Whoa! This was.
Oh, Majorcore's getting low on health too with the heal from the Marines. Oh my God, Socke is going full tilt right now.
Yeah, that was not supposed to happen. That he was supposed to lose maybe the Adept and then pull back, but that's pretty bad. He does stop the second Liberator, or the second aggression with the Liberator for a little bit, but he's got to really return some damage here with this Disruptor drop. Took so much away from his defense. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh Jesus! The Disruptor has so much to do now. 20 probes are down. This is some serious revenge for last game.
Zombie Grub. Socke was doing so well last game.
Oh, there's tanks here too. Oh.
He just went full tilt.
Tanks are in siege. He's gonna get 3. Oh, that was 3. So you thought there'd be more. Liberators here.
Oh
War
my
Prism's
God.
gonna have to leave.
The Widowmines reburrowed in the main base. They get some more kills.
Oh God.
Turn on the stalker. Oh my god, I can't.
And now the
watch
ramp.
this.
Yeah, just stop. Just turn away if you're Protoss right now.
GG.
Oh dear God.
Soul evens up the series 1-1.
Well, that was a quick second game, so we can't go back to break.
That was like watching a hiker just fall off, and you just stare as he like continues to tumble down the cliff to his death, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't look away. This is horrifying, though."
That's very morbid.
That's what it felt like.
Well, we're gonna have to wait for the final map here to be set up. This is the ace match. It's only best of 3. Whoever loses, gotta try next qualifier. No double limb here.
There is going to be that second qualifier, though, so there is some sort of shimmer of hope that you can make it in the next one. But yeah, of course, a reminder that there is a group stage after this. So group stage will determine who's going to go to the playoffs. The playoffs is where the big event ends up happening, where there's a $7,500 first place prize, $4,500 for second place, and $3,000 for third place. Interestingly enough, I don't actually see anything listed for 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th. So that's a pretty steep slope of 7,000, 4,000, 3,000, nothing.
Yeah, it is. I guess that means there's gonna be a third place match, which feels kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah, there is a 3rd, 4th place match.
Well, that's still a ways to go for these guys. The next round, the ones that they're qualifying into, does have invited players, so it's a little bit shorter for them than the main event, eventually.
Alright, I've been promoted to lobby host again.
You
You know what
do,
annoys
man.
me? Soul promotes me to lobby host and then asks me, "Can you hide the match history?" And I'm like, you were lobby host. If it's so important to you, why don't you hide the match history?
I agree. I don't have nearly as much passion
It's
about
okay.
it, but...
I probably wouldn't care that much if I wasn't so tired.
On to
right.
Gettysburg.
Guaranteed final game of the day, unless there's some weird tiebreaker situation where someone takes the island base but it's mined out and they can't finish the game.
Why would you say that? There was like no chance of that until you said it.
Till I said it.
God darn it. And the bottom left. Just, oh my god, this guy is a Protoss murderer. He is the Red Terran Soul.
And in the bottom right, Teal Protoss player, give it up for Socke. I don't like criticizing players normally, but that last game, it really was a lot Socke's fault. He played it pretty greedy, going for the really fast robotics bay, didn't get up his pylons in the right place at the natural expansion to actually photon overcharge. Like, he was playing a little bit like he was on Socke.
Hey, yeah, I agree. The photon overcharge of the natural... Oh, that was so loud.
What was that?
Here's my text.
Is there a Terminator behind you?
Man, that's not Terminator. That's Legion. God damn. Anyway. The photon overcharge happens at that pylon of the natural. When the medevac's boosting in, it boosts right back out. Not a big deal. Then you have the units for the Liberator and the eventual drop, you know. Even besides that, say he still misses that photon overcharge, the Adept 2 Stalker run into the Widow Mines was when it really was like, oh shit, things are going so downhill so quickly.
There were a lot of gateway units that just died to the Widow Mines. That should not be happening. Losing the Observer obviously really sucks. Like, that was actually well played by Soul, sniping off the Observer and everything. But after that, you should just be not mining from there, and you shouldn't be sacrificing your units to try and kill off the Widow Mines.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I don't know, I think that's gotta be a game where you hopefully can shake it off. Shake it off. Because that otherwise is going to tilt the hell out of you. And luckily New Gettysburg, while it is this kind of like obvious location to location, medevacs look kind of tempting, it is usually so obvious that it's not even attempted. Plus you have the air blockers to mess up the Widow Mine or medevac pathing, and it kind of just, it sucks, and it's too expected. I think that Socke should be feeling better against any potential harassment. Oh no.
Well,
Oh no.
Socke will be feeling better against any particular harassment, but it's going to be a 3cc build coming out from Souls. And that does, you know, I do feel like this is a better map for it. Especially since you can do something like, well, I wouldn't actually recommend going for the island expansion in this matchup for Terran. There's just so many drops in this matchup.
Yeah, there's too many medevacs and war prisms for either side.
You know what? Maybe if you planted 2 Widow Mines at the entrance, I think that you would actually, that would be a solid defense. 2 Widow Mines and a missile turret?
That'd be probably enough. Yeah. I was gonna go for it. I really do question the 3rd CC builds, though, in general, nowadays. They give you such this, like, powerful eventual production burst, but they're also scouted pretty quickly. You know, the observer immediately makes ways across the map, it sees a 3rd CC. I feel like, given the right opportunities, say the Adept gets in here with a Shade or whatnot, Socke can just match the greed. Because, you know, he's not going for a build that's going to actually punish the greed, like on that Frozen Temple game, but he could try and match it, but he is being denied scouting so far. The Observer is only just now coming out, so 30C is already done. So maybe he'll just be afraid, continue to be afraid of something that's actually not on its way. He's really only seen the barracks. He has no idea if it's going to be a tank push or a Widow Mine drop, and he's just playing a very standard 2-base.
Sorry, I'm really enjoying the person in the chat that says, it's Socke, not Sake, moron. Like, he spells it out. Like, that doesn't tell us how to pronounce it, friend. All you do is literally type out his name again.
People that critique people on pronunciation. You. He's probably, what's that country that's, like, most well known for just being fluent in so many freaking different languages? I forget. I want to say it's Sweden, but I also don't.
China, because they have so many of them?
No, that's not in that. But it'd be like, it's like this funny joke where you're talking to, like, say it is the Swedish, because I don't remember the Swedes. You talk to a Swedish person, and you're trying to speak to them, and they're like, oh, thank you for attempting to speak Swedish to me, sir. I actually speak okay English. I'm usually trying to work on it. And, like, they just speak, like, fluent English to you, and you're like, god damn it.
Oh, that missile turret almost killing off the Observer. If he... Okay, he's not going to go for the scan.
I didn't see the 3rd CC,
He didn't have the energy for it.
Yeah. So he has no idea the 3rd CC is on location, and as far as he can see, this could be production already set up. It's kind of funny. He, like, sees the add-ons, nothing else.
Yeah.
So he's still kind of in the dark.
I mean, Socke also went for his own 3rd Nexus, like, fairly quickly. Obviously, it's not ideal to be this far behind on your 3rd Nexus, but still, he's got a lot of gateways. He's finished up Blink. He's got a Robo that's making a War Prism. He has the potential to get some sort of counteractive damage that I'm not sure Soul will have enough to defend with, because he just straight up doesn't have his medevacs yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a big problem. And that was I think, one of the main problems in that first game, too. Besides just being pulled this way and that, he was for a very long time, low on medevac counts, and every single stim he did hurt his army. Accidentally pushes into the army. Whoopsie. That blink is done.
Whoa,
Dangerous.
that was questionable.
Wow, Soul's just gonna evacuate the 3rd base right now. He's like, I ain't dealing with this. This is bullshit. It is 6 gateways.
Into the Stalkers, though.
And Socke stopped building probes. This is actually the perfect position for Socke, I think. I think he might just win with this. Soul is trying to pull SCVs, already lost 18 of them.
Whoa. Lost a lot of the SCVs, but on top of that, he's also doesn't really have enough Bioforce to actually take on the Stalker count, especially with the Blank Micro. Here we go, Socke's charging on forward. The War Prism is a safe distance back. He's got to be on top of the Blink Micro, though, because the stims are coming in as well as those medevacs. He's going to be backing up.
It is still pretty damn close, and Soul still has a few more SCVs to lose before it's just like, oh, I don't know if you can recover. 3rd base is mining, by the way, despite pulling a couple of SCVs from him. Now Socke's going to look there, so now he'll have the high ground advantage too, and Soul might not be able to save his 3rd CC. He'll have to at the very least lift it.
Oh, you might go after the War Prism. The War Prism nice. Up is going to be a really big deal right here.
But
he's going to end up trading up for a lot of units, though, and he might end up losing his 3rd CC.
Oh, no, not worth.
Honestly, killing the 3rd CC, yeah, that was all Socke really needed to do. He's already making more workers again. XT.
Yeah. I thought that Socke wouldn't be able to have a nice build against this. Turns out he had the perfect one. Like the 6 gateway blink stalker pressure still worked out beautifully. Still hit before there's too many medevacs or too much bio. And still surprised Soul, too. And that's why I feel like it's a reason we don't see fast 3rd CCs that much anymore, or at all. You know, certainly the one build in a best of series, okay, try and get away with extreme greed, but setting it out here, even on a better map,
I think Soul's going full tilt right now. I think it's just like... I mean, honestly, DTs would be pretty good over here. Yeah, there's a missile turret there, but like if you could force out any scans, you can get any damage done in the production line and everything. At this point, it's going to do a lot, but... Alright, Soul's going full all-in right now. He's lifting up all of his units in the medevacs. Socke doesn't really know about this just yet.
New Gettysburg! That's up the micro. Now he's just gonna return home. Oh dear.
Oh no, he's gonna try and flank this. This could actually work out well for him. This is Sokke's army, but Socke is getting on top of the production. He smelt fear. He smelt when there was nothing there. He doesn't have an escape path though, and he might end up losing all of his stalkers.
Yeah, he's gonna try and escape, and Soul's already on top of it. So it did work out okay. He didn't really abuse the high ground and the ramp as much as he could have either. He blinks down. He's gonna maybe save some of them. Nope.
Oh, target
like,
firing down the medevacs. Still has 5 medevacs though. This has suddenly become a little bit more dangerous. I don't think that it's necessarily in favor of Soul right now, but with the big Doom drop coming out, I don't know if Socke actually has that much at home. Well, okay, he has got a lot of adepts. He's got an immortal. Yeah, with Bludgeon Overcharge, this is looking really grim.
The good news was, during all that Blink Stalker death, he was warping at home, you know? So, yeah, he has an army here. If he had a Mothership Core with cannons, or...
Stalkers find the big Doom drop?
Only 4 of them couldn't have taken on the medevac. It was...
Yeah, but he knows about the angle. That's also really important, because now he can just reposition his entire army from his main base over to his 3rd.
Yeah. Upgrades about the finish for Soul, so this it's kind of like a timing here. But does he have enough of an army to really not just kill the 3rd base, but then win the army fight too? Overcharge not really helping out. Guardian Shield is taken down. I don't think
most of this army for Socke is not actually fighting right now, so it's looking a lot closer than it should be. But now finally we're starting to see Marauders versus Immortals. A couple of reinforcements coming in, but really not able to make a whole lot happen. The army is forced back. Widowmine's gonna kill some of the Stalkers, but honestly, was it enough damage to equalize? No, nowhere close. And the War Prism is back in the main base, warping in more adepts, cleaning house right now.
He cleaned up all the medevacs. This almost worked. The Soul is dead. He has one last group of army, I suppose, to try and make it work. And the armor supply is even, but that never really accounts for, you know, the Mothership Core cannons or good defensive positioning, and of course, just in general, defense advantage. And a War Prism that's continuing to attack you.
Oh yeah, this is just really smart. Just continue to warp into depths and force your opponent to decide whether they're just going to go all in right now, or if they're going to try and make this work. And it looks like Soul's going to try and make it work, but I don't think he has that as an option. Honestly, at this point, I would consider pulling the boys, going all in.
Like, I wouldn't mind that either, to be honest. There's no splash for Socke to instantly KO SCVs that are pulled. They would help tank quite a... whoa.
That was really nice.
They would help tank quite a few shots from the Adepts and the Stalkers, but Soul's gonna take it as a moral victory.
There we go, that's all he needed.
Tap out. Alright, grats to Socke. Going on to the next round.
By next round? Yeah, you mean next round of the qualifier, not just actually next round of this bracket.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Should be all clear and whatnot.
No. Just making clear. Just making it clear for anyone who didn't know. People are tuning in a little bit on the later side, but that does mean we have 3 of our qualified players for the second stage of the qualifiers. That's going to be Elazer, Lambo, and Socke. Still waiting on the results of Demaga versus Naiden. That's going to be happening tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Eastern Standard Time. But still figuring out if we're going to be covering that or what. Or if Zombie Grub is going to be covering it or what, I should say.
This is weird.
Yeah, it was like soul casting or something.
I don't know. But we'll of course, You can, I guess, to follow that, follow the BaseTradeTV Twitter and my Twitter at TG Gaming. But we're going to do one last commercial break before we do the correct shout-out, so see you in 2. Hey everyone, thanks for watching those ads. We are pretty tired after the double cast today, so we're going to really just shotgun these sponsors. Chairs for Gaming, use code BaseTradeTV for $20 or free shipping to wrong sponsors everywhere. God damn it. For free shipping to the United States and Canada, and free cushions as well. G2A.com, use code BASE for 3% off. Your wood watches, it is the 5%, I believe. That's actually kind of tiny. And also contributing to the tournament of the future. Yeah, another one like Civil War would be great. And Corsair Gaming, look down below for the links if you're interested in headsets, keyboards, mice, anything. We always heavily recommend everything from them. It's good stuff. And I know a lot of people are starting to get their giveaways, which is really cool. So you see a lot of retweets about people getting cards. PvT Wings actually got his Corsair Gear board, so he seems to like it. That's good news and all that. And if you did, we're supposed to receive a part 2 for the last 2 months. You should be receiving them for sure by now. Finally, follow me on Twitter at TG Gaming. Follow the channel down below. Fear Dragon?
Follow me at FearDragon64 or go watch Wardy because Wardy's cool and that's a thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Shout out someone else too, along with this. Thanks for watching, everyone. The next time you see me, I guess, will be tomorrow for the one best of 3. It's going to be like an hour long, but I guess if you catch it, catch it. Great news. And then after that, it's going to be the DreamHack Montreal community cast, secondary stream cast with Fear Dragon kind of steering that wheel. So look forward to that, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.